SF Shock because of Sinatra, and Boston because of Kelix, he's Danish.
I have to say the London Spitfire, just because I think we did really well against them last season in the regular season. We always seem to have their number, and they're similar to us. They didn't really make many changes going into the season. Of course, they won, but still, like I'd like to face them again just to have like a little. It's like one of the only matchups I think will be very like similar to how it was in season 1, and we just get to see how the players have improved or how that's changed.
I really want to face off against Boston, and the main reason for that would be because my old teammate, Blase from Gladiators Legion, is playing for that team, so I get like the Gavicha, you know?
I'd say like the two Cali teams, Shock and LA Gladiators. Those are always the most fun matches. You know, NA players that we were kind of friends with, so banter and stuff like that. It's always exciting matches.
Personally, me, not really. Every team is like an enemy to us, basically. So like any teams, we have to beat them. We don't really have any friendly team or like any particular enemies that we have. We just want to beat everyone and be the best we can be.
My favorite team to play against is San Francisco Shock because they haven't beat us yet in Overwatch League, and they're looking like the strongest team right now. So it's going to be a really exciting match to prepare for that.
안 그래도 그냥 뭐 필라델피아 퓨전.
I would say this definitely Dallas, just because I have previous teammates on the team and previous friends. Current friends as well, obviously. And Houston. Those would be the two teams that I really want to face off against, mainly because I have plenty of friends on the team and it's always fun. It's more fun to beat the friends.
I'll pick two. I want to play Houston and I want to play Spark.
한 명만.
한 명만. 자기 자신도 괜찮아.
새로운 플레이어 중.
This season? I don't mean to boast or anything, but I definitely think I have a lot of potential to be the strongest rookie.
Oh, Iziaki. Iziaki is a god.
Peter.
Rookie. That's a tough one. Well, I haven't seen all the teams play yet, so it's hard to really give a solid answer to that. But I would say either Gushue or Happy. But I mean, Happy depending on how his team does. We've seen Gushue play, and he's extremely good. So
I have no idea. I have no idea. I would say the same thing as him.
I think like the one that's impressed me the most so far is Rhea from the Spark. He came in like not many people knew about him from Korea, but he's come in really strong. So I'm impressed by him.
I think Happy maybe has potential. It's tough to say because there's so many different rookies on different roles and see who's going to come in the most. But Happy's Widowmaker I think has like real superstar potential. He seems like an absolute monster on the character. So anytime Happy plays Widow, I think anyone with the Twitch All Access pass should probably get on his POV.
I do want to say Eileen I think actually Eileen is really good coming from China as well. I think he's been doing really well. But this is also like GOAT's meta, so it's kind of hard to say mechanical skill. It's more understanding the game, and he seems to have pretty good understanding.
없어도 돼요? 없어도 돼. 뭐 상관없어. 다 때려 눕힌다고 얘기해도 돼.
딱히 없는 것 같아요.
Us?
Any particular reason?
I don't know. Like, even though we did really well last season, a lot of people seem to doubt us still. So I'd say like the casters, even the fans, like Reddit, all those people, like they still doubt us for some reason, even though we proved ourselves. So yeah, I'd say we're pretty much underrated.
Most underrated team. Trying to think like other, because I usually feel like the public's perception, especially in the beginning, is kind of off because I've like scrimmed against all these teams and I've seen how they played. So it's hard for me to think of like which teams are thought of as weak but are actually strong.
Well, no one expected for us to like take a map off Nixel today, so it would probably be us.
If I remember correct on top of my head, I think a lot of people have been saying Ganjo Charge has been like very low on most people's radar, so to say. And I think they should be rated pretty high because I think they're really like a really strong free team.
underrated. Probably either Define or Charge. I think people rate them. I think people rate them lower than they should be.
I think the most underrated and like the team that's gonna prove people wrong is probably Paris, because a lot of people thought their roster was gonna be really weak, seeing as how they had like all European players and players from like different backgrounds, from maybe not so, as well as teams as like Overwatch League teams, but I think like together they're gonna work really hard, and they have a lot of passionate players and skillful players, so I think they're gonna do really well.
상하이 드래곤즈 저희 팀인 것 같아요.
I guess I go with like maybe Atlanta. I feel like a lot of people thinking there's like a mid-tier team, but I think they could always really impress and like kind of overperform. I think they have like language barrier issues that are going to make them a slow starter potentially, but that also means they have a lot of room to grow. So I'd have to go with Atlanta. They have like probably the most rookies of any team. I don't really know that exactly, but it seems like that's a roster with like a ton of potential. So if they do well early, then that means great things for them. But if they have a slow start, they could always improve a lot.
Okay.
NYXL.